I'm going to show you how you can install drivers very easily and free, whether you have internet connection or not. Let's get started. Snappy Driver installer. It has always been free, and I'm pretty sure it always will be. Just type it into your browser, and by the way, I got 4 pages I want to show you, and I'll put the links to each one of them below this video. Click on Snappy Driver installer. Like I said, I'll put that link underneath the video, and then click download. Now right here you have the option to download Snappy Driver installer with the driver pack and without. This one here gets it from their database on the internet. This one here has the driver pack already there. I have it downloaded and I have it on a flash drive. It's great. Saved me many times. I've installed Windows on many machines, and there's quite often you'll be missing a network driver, so you can't even get on the internet to get the driver unless you get another computer. So in fact, that's what you would have to do with this, except this you need a torrent client to download it. Rather than explain, if you know what a torrent client is, like uTorrent, BitTorrent, Transmission, there's a few other ones. If you know how to use them, that's fine, that's great. You can download it from right here. Otherwise, you can go to getintopc.com and type in Snappy Driver installer right here. I've already done it. But whatever you want, you can type it in here. Operating systems, every operating system you can imagine. Linux, Mac, every version of Windows, all the way down to Windows 95. They have them all. All the Windows are free downloads, but you will not find product keys or activators with it. So, and all the software, if it's a free software, then you can get it free and install it free. If it's a paid version, you can download it free, but you'll still need a product key. So this is more or less a legitimate site here. Now here's Snappy Driver installer, the same one that I just showed you over there on the other page. And this is what it will look like. It tells you in detail all about it, how it works and everything. And these guys have their own, they host the download. So I'm going to do this just to show you what you're looking for, what you're looking at here. From a high performance Linux cloud server, and yes, it is amazing. I really love that server they're using. I've never even heard of another place that will host the downloads. Now as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's blinking between 1 and 2 hours. It'll very shortly go down to 1 hour. If you have a slow computer, mine, I'm running 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I got a gigabyte motherboard installed, so it's pretty fast performance, and it's still trying to decide 1 or 2 hours. Alright, so I'm going to stop it. But if you were to download it and that was done, this is Google Chrome, by the way, you can click here and click show in folder to see exactly where it went, just in case you didn't know that. Right on that little square. I'm going to click cancel. Okay, and I'm going to close this page. And if you don't have Snappy Driver, if you don't want Snappy Driver installer for a driver pack, this thing you can download and run it just like this one here I'm going to show you. Or you can download Driver Pack Solutions. That's my second favorite. In fact, it's kind of a little more easier to understand, but you gotta be if you don't do it right, it will try to install other software. This one here will come in an ISO file, and again, this shows you what it looks like, pictures of it, tells you all about it, and there's the big green download button. Alright, same way, only this one here, you will have to open it up if it's an ISO file, and to open it you would want 7-zip. It's really my favorite, by the way, and it's also free. If you have a 32-bit operating system, you want that one. If you have a 64-bit, you want that one. And just so you know, you can click on your start button, right click on computer, and then click properties. Easy way to remember is computer properties. Now, as you can see right here, I got 64-bit operating system, 8 gigabytes of RAM, but 64-bit. If yours says 32-bit, then you want the 32-bit. I have the 64, and I also have 7-zip already installed on my computer, so I'm going to go past that too. Alright, now the download. This here will install drivers from their website. You do have to have internet connection for that. Alright, it's already downloaded. I can click here and click show in folder, because you don't want to open it. It's a zip file. You just show in folder. I'm going to close all these pages and show you what it looks like. There's the file. You can open it right where it's located, or I drug it off on my screen. Extract and unzip it, and here it is. Let's get them both together. Try to keep everything tidied up. Now remember, I showed you mine was 64-bit. If you have a 64-bit, you want to run this one. If you have a 32-bit, you want to run this one. The one that does not have the size is the 32-bit. I have 64-bit. And it will ask you, the first time you open it and run it, it's going to ask you once and only once if you accept or decline. And then right here in this blue link, it says click here to start the download. You click there. The first time, you just simply put a check mark in indexes, because it'll say for this PC yes. The rest you'll see they're all no, because you haven't even started the process. So you click a check mark where it says yes, you click accept and OK. Now you're going to be sitting here thinking nothing's happening. That still says 0%. I don't see anything going on. Well, don't be alarmed, because it really is. You will soon see in a minute here that will kick in, and a green line will work its way all the way across. This is just really the algorithm that they wrote for this software. See, there you go. Is just amazing. It will find drivers that it's for your computer and your computer only, or computers that are similar to yours. Okay. Alright, now I don't have very many drivers missing. All the ones that I have installed, I like. Now you can click back here again. Now these are, first of all, let's close that. This is all the drivers that I have missing. Yours might be a real long list. It might have a complete different set of drivers. But they will not be downloaded. This just did the scan, and it showed you what your computer is missing. If you want all them drivers downloaded, not installed but downloaded, you'll see that there's some more. Watch here on the side. See, there's another yes, and the rest. Well, you can get those downloaded, not installed. Just click here, click accept and OK. Alright, or you can skip that and install these one at a time by just simply putting a check mark in it and then clicking install. Then it will do the download and the installing. And always, before you install a driver, and I mean never forget, always create a restore point. Always. That way, if your driver does not work, your computer acts up, you can restore it to an earlier time and set your computer like it never even happened. Alright, the first set of drivers that you're going to want to install are the ones that says missing. In the parentheses here, it'll say missing. Now you can install, if you had 3 or 4, which would be pretty rare. Usually you only have 1, maybe 2 drivers missing for a complete clean install, or a computer that's damaged in some way. Just install the ones that are missing. Say if those were missing, I would put a check mark there and create a restore point and click install. Okay, those you can install all at once, no matter how many there is. But the next one would be, like I have one here, update driver available, which is also more optimal. Whenever you see which is also more optimal, you install them next. Those next, not just the updates, but just the more optimal ones. Only those you install one at a time. And I know you're going to say, well, it shows here my computer needs it. Why not put them both in there? Well, whether your computer needs it or not all drivers will work great on your motherboard, for your hardware, and actually for your computer. I mean, it's a pretty tricky situation. So you check off create a restore point again, always do that. And maybe, since this says which is more optimal, I would put a check mark there and install 1. You can chance it and install 2, but if you install 2 and something goes wrong and your computer acts funny in some way, you won't know which driver it was that did it. So you'll be better off to install just 1. And remember, your second step would be which is more optimal. Now, once you work your way through all of them, it's a long process. You're better off to just take your time, relax. Once you get the ones that are missing, you can do the internet and do whatever you want. But the next ones, from that point on, 1 at a time. If you do 2 at a time, that's fine, but you will not know which one did it, so you'll have to restore it to an earlier time and take another stab at it with just 1. Okay, now when you do just regular updates, plain old updates, do them 1 at a time also, and yes, create a restore point. And use your computer. Do some kind of searching, or surf the web a little bit. Maybe even use it for about a half hour, because there's no hurry. Your computer's already running right now. You've installed the ones that were missing. The update driver is just going to make it a little more peppy, you know, give it a little more spike. And if you want to do some real reading, like this one here, which is more optimal. Now, if you normally, I think because I got my recorder going, but this will tell you the little hint. You can put your finger on the control button and see there, if you look down in the lower left hand corner where it says signature, the signature is red. But above it you'll see driver is running. That tells me I have a driver installed that's using this, but at the same time it's not signed. This here driver, Snappy Driver installer, will give you drivers that are only signed. If you look to the right, you'll see the provider. Right above it, it'll say signature, and it'll have some numbers beside it. This one is signed, so I can install one that is signed, but I've already been through this. For this audio device, for this individual one, it will not, something happened to my audio. I think maybe if I installed this one by itself, and you'll notice there's a lot of them. See right here, it'll say older driver, not signed. Which is more optimal. This one here, let's see if one I got on there. Now this one for audio is signed. You can see down there in the lower left. So it's real tricky. You don't just want to install a driver that is missing. Don't sit there and say, well, I need all these drivers, it says so. Don't do that. It's very important to create a restore point and install all the ones that are missing first. Second set of drivers, install the ones that says which is more optimal. I would save, even if it says more optimal, save the audio ones for last. And if you do 1 at a time, then you can restore your computer to an earlier time like it never even happened, and it's running great again. then you can go back and say, okay, well, this did that, I don't want that one. Let me see, I think you can right click on it, and you can click on info file, open info file of the installed driver, you can copy it to your clipboard, even schedule an installation. Now up here it doesn't show you, but sometimes it'll show a little hint. You can click on there and it'll show your device drivers, your device manager, which is all your drivers. These are just the labels, the title of the driver. If you click on the arrow, it'll show the actual driver. If you have any drivers that are missing, you'll see a little triangle on these right here, and it'll usually have one open like this, and it'll show you which driver is missing. It'll give you some kind of warning. I mean, you can't miss it. It's real simple. You can also click view and show hidden, and it shows you a few more. Think of processors. If you have a processor driver missing, you're in really bad shape. But when you install the driver pack, like I was showing you the large one, you can install it from a computer that has no internet connection whatsoever. Alright, I think that just about covers that. If you want to get into the expert mode, you can click here. But as you can see, they already have it set just great. Show only best. Show ones that are not installed. Not installed. Better match. Alright. Let's see, I think I just about covered that. That's just the lightweight one that you download. And the full version will look exactly like that, only you'll see this folder and there'll be 3 or 4 other folders. One will have drivers and a few auto runs and everything. Just click on the SDI and make sure you run 34-bit if yours is 34, 64-bit if it's 64-bit. Now, on that other one there, let's see if I can show you this one right here. Driver Pack Solutions. This is what that looks like. Driver Pack Solutions. Now this is huge, and I mean big. I'll show you just how big this one is. 11.5 gigabytes. I mean, you'd have a hard time finding a disk that you can even put it on. So it starts out with just this file, and if you have 7-zip installed, like I showed you earlier, then it'll show you that, give you the option of where you can extract here using 7-zip, which is what I did, and it comes up with this and all of that and all of this. Now see, just the drivers alone are 10.3 gigabytes. But if you don't have internet, it doesn't need to get to the internet to get to the drivers. They're all right there. Let's show you what Driver Pack Solutions looks like. Now I really like it. It's a little more, looks simpler to me. Takes a while. It does a little scan, and it always does that. It acts like it's jerking and stopping. It's scanning the whole computer to find out what drivers I need, and it will show me what drivers that it has. And this has all the drivers. See, flash update for device driver. Driver can be updated. Put your cursor over top of it and it automatically shows on that little pop-up window. Alright, now these are driver updates, now, which means I have all the drivers, but they can be updated. If I had any missing drivers, they would show up here under this one here, but there isn't any missing. Don't get confused with this, because these are not drivers, these are programs. This is partially how this free software gets paid for. These are things that you can download. Some of them you might like. WinRAR is good. Shockwave player is really good. There's uTorrent. That's the torrent client that you can download from that one site. Browsers. There's a notifier to tell you when your drivers are out of date. I just assume not use them because they would be running in the background all the time, slowing down your computer, and it's not worth it to slow your computer down. Miscellaneous. As you see here, I got VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter and then a VMware. That's because I have VirtualBox and let me show you. I have VirtualBox and VMware Workstation virtual machines. I have Windows, all versions of Windows installed on them. Alright, like I said, this in here you can put on a flash drive, and I would take this out before I put it on a flash drive, which is what I really did, and then just click on that one right there, Driver Pack Solutions, and run it right from a flash drive to a computer that has absolutely no internet connection at all, and you can fix your problem. And SAM drivers, let me see, I don't think I typed it in here. No, but you can type in SAM drivers, one word. You have to do have to type a little correctly in the as far as this goes. Let's see, I'll do it. SAM driver, I don't know if it's drivers or drivers. Yeah, SAM drivers. You can get that right here. Just to show you what SAM drivers looks like if you want to try that. It's also really neat, but at the same time it's got some pretty goofy language on there. If you did get it, it would get an ISO file again, just like this. Right click with 7-zip. You can extract here, and you will get all this other stuff right here, some auto runs and everything. And then simply click on that. As you can see, it's written in English and I don't know what that other language is, and you can't change that. I've tried. But there's Snappy Driver Installer, Driver Installer Assistance, Driver Backup. You can back up all your drivers, and there's Driver Pack Solutions. This in here really has all of them combined. So yes, it is good, but you do have to realize that it's in another language and English. Let's see, I'll do Snappy Driver Installer, this version of it. See, you'll see that this looks a little bit different, but they're all checked. Better match, not installed, show only best. You can change the color of your screen here. You can make it dark. There you go. That's just like what the other one looks like. Put it back to the grass. But you can click on here, click on all the ones that are yes. Like I said, it's already shown me what I have, but this in here will download them, not install them, but it will download them, be ready to install for whenever you want to. Notice it also says more optimal. If there was any missing, it would say missing. And then create a restore point. Every time, I'm telling you, you really need to create a restore point, because you can click here and type in restore and restore your computer to an earlier time. You can go back in time. Open System Restore. Oh, I deleted my restore points, so there is none. Otherwise, you would be able to click next, and there's another check mark. We can click show more, and it would show more. Alright, it's very important. Okay, I hope this helped. I'm sorry this video was long. I've tried it many times, and trust me, this is the shortest I've been able to make it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.